Many players love playing Duelists, but let's face it, a large number of players unfortunately don't have any idea of how to play them. Yep, that's right, I'm pointing out some of you viewers out there. But that's why you clicked on this video, right? Duelists are self-sufficient fraggers, meaning they have abilities that assist with helping them frag out and carry their team. Carrying with Duelists takes a specific playstyle and a high knowledge of how to properly utilize abilities to snag easy kills. In this video, we're going to show you how to carry as a Duelist in just 10 minutes. That's right, 10 minutes and you'll be fragging out of your mind. Before we get into things, this video is just a glimpse of what we can offer you. If you want a full detailed guide on how to improve in Valorant, you want to check out our website over at SkillCapped. More on that at the end of the video. Here's the #1 rule when playing Duelists. Never play behind your team. Duelists are meant to be in the front lines. Their abilities and playstyle are best suited for getting into enemies' faces and distorting their position. For example, let's take Reyna. Some of Reyna's strong points are having the ability to heal after an engagement or dismiss after an engagement. A typical way to push A site with Reyna is throw a leer and push in first. Great. The enemies are blinded, and you and your team should have an easier time entering the site. Along with that, if you take the first fight and lose health, you can simply heal back up and be ready for another fight. Or if you see an enemy attempting to trade you, you can dismiss out to safety. Because Reyna's abilities provide her with health and a safety net to escape from trouble, it's important that she's first in line. Sure, we can leer out behind our team and have the team push, but most of your team won't have abilities to heal or get out of an engagement as easily. We'll go into the importance of following this rule with other Duelists with our other tips today, but just remember you should always be the front line and never in the back. Like imagine Phoenix ulting behind your team as they push a site. Not exactly ideal for an ability that's meant to provide a type of invulnerability and free information gathering. Moving on, to follow up with our #1 rule, if you want to carry as a Duelist, you have to push with abilities. Unless you used up your abilities earlier, this is not optional. What differentiates one agent from another are abilities. If you don't use them, then you're pushing no differently than another agent. Abilities are meant to distort the enemy and give yourself an edge during an engagement. If you just dry peek into A side, you'll essentially be taking a raw aim duel. Or if the enemy has a good setup, you could be walking straight into their crossfire. This would be very disadvantageous for you. To offset this advantage and put the odds more in your favor, you need to use abilities. Let's take Jett for example.
Some space to work with here. Knife actually invested towards B as well. I'm not sure who that noted. It should have been two. We've got a wide open sight here.
Yeah, at this point you're starting to be very confident that you made it past tree, that no audio cues, no nothing out of play, so pretty much free plant. Still being cautious enough, but should go down here unchecked. And let's see if Lab can get anyone. That's the name of the game. Can they do any damage at all?
A common move you'll see in pro play when entering site is Jett will smoke into the middle of site and dash right into it. This does two things. One, it forces the enemy to have to pay attention to your presence. This is attention that's now pulled away from the rest of your team. You haven't even fired your weapon yet, but just by doing this move, you've already made it easier for your team to enter the site. The enemy has to decide whether to put their attention towards you or remain positioned towards your teammates. Second, smoking and dashing allows you to divide the site and take up a little more space for you and your team. Your teammates can take care of the close corners of each choke point, while you focus on taking on enemies further in the back of the site. If you want to be a real annoyance with Jett, you can smoke, dash, and then smoke again to inch your way further into the site. This kind of helps stall the enemies as they bounce between whether to focus on you or your teammates that are coming behind you. This logic is also the reason you'll see Raze players double satcheling onto sites. It's to get into the back of sites to take space while your team takes the front. Raze and Jett have the most extreme abilities for pushing sites. Yoru also has his TP to get into the backline too. You don't necessarily need to be flashy to properly enter into a site as a Duelist. Reyna's leer along with Phoenix's flash can be just as effective in helping you and your team enter sites. A blinded enemy is just as good as dead, and will allow your team to win duels better and take over sites. Make it a habit to always utilize abilities when entering a site. You'll find yourself getting more kills, and more importantly, winning way more rounds on the attacker side, if you do this. When we talk about pushing though, we don't just mean on the attacker side. Pushing as a duelist can pay dividends on defense. It gives you the opportunity to grab a pick and give your team a man advantage. This is not the most important aspect of defensive pushing though. Even if you don't get the pick or find no one present where you pushed, there is still valuable info to be gathered. Information you can take to help better position your team towards where the enemy might be located. Now, before we continue this segment, full disclaimer, you do want to be careful pushing when you're on defense. If you push too deep without assistance, you could find yourself in the faces of several enemies and quickly overwhelmed. Make sure you have help or at least an escape route ready if too much trouble arises. For example, Jett and Reyna can both push and peek choke points, as they have a dash and dismiss to bail them out if things go south. The other duelists don't quite have this escape route available, so you want to be more cautious pushing with them. Still, duelists like Yoru and Phoenix have flashes which can allow them to go for a quick peek to clear out an area. Again, if you blind someone and pick them off, that's great. But just getting that information that the coast is all clear will help your team identify the best places to position them for the enemy's attack. Let's check out this clip by Ye.
We go again.
More
It's B.
aggression. Well, look how early the information comes through, Lauren. The rotation's already happening.
And it's not just mindless, it's so well constructed, and we're going to see everything invested towards this. Crash is going to post it. It's FNS to find the front. That's Sadak now gone. Crashies going to be halted for now towards middle. They could really do some damage now, and they ain't getting it.
He gets help from Marvin's Omen Paranoia to blind anyone A main. From there, Ye pops his ultimate and quickly dashes and updrafts through A main at the start of the round. Now, if anyone was here, they'd likely be in big trouble as they'd be blinded and Ye could snag some easy frags. That's what would have made the highlight clips and caught most viewers' attention. However, what caught our attention, despite no frags being gained, is the information Ye gained by doing this push. Now that the team knows that A main is clear, they can rotate elsewhere on the map. The remaining A players are now able to rotate earlier to B side, which is where Loud ends up hitting. So, the information play allowed Optic to make quicker rotations and repositions to better handle the enemy attack. Information gathered is a big part of Valorant. Whenever you can safely push and clear out an area, do it. That doesn't mean to just blindly push through and try and flank the enemy every single round though. That'll become too predictable, and the enemy will start to adapt to your pushes. Ideally, have your abilities ready to push an area, then back away or rotate according to the information you gathered. Even if you don't kill him, getting early intel will help everyone rotate to more optimal positions to defend against the attackers. Picking up where we left off, we know duelists are self-sufficient fraggers. However, that does not mean that teamwork doesn't still make the dream work. Something we hear a lot about from frustrated duelists is the team doesn't back them up when they go in or if they're trying to make the play. More often than not, the problem comes down to communication. These players' teammates simply didn't know when the duelists were going to go in, and as a result, they're not able to position and prepare themselves to help out. If you're about to make a play, communicate it. Let the team know when you're going to go in and when you're going to peek an angle and if you want backup for the plays you're trying to make. This will solve a large majority of issues that arise when a play doesn't go as expected. Here is a simple yet highly effective example of how a simple comm leads to an insane play.
Not B.
Oh shit! Oh!
We got him!
In this clip, I'm playing as Raze, with my teammate Breeze on site with me. I plan to go for a double satchel play into the enemy's spawn. Because I'm airborne during most of this play, it's gonna be hard for me to just drop down onto multiple enemies and expect to kill them all before they wipe me out. Heck, I'd be lucky to get one as I wait for my movement error to go down. To buy a little time, I ask my Breach if he can concuss A lobby at the start of round, and then I'm gonna make a satchel play there. And sure enough, my Breach does just that, concusses 2 enemy players, then gives me free reign to drop down and pick off both of them with relative ease. At the end of the day, being self-sufficient can only take you so far. Valorant is a team-based game. The expectation is that duelists are in the front lines with teammates backing them up. Always communicate to your team what you're gonna do and how you want the team to help you out. Likewise, despite being a duelist, you should also look for ways you can help your teammates make plays too. It doesn't always have to be you doing everything to carry a team. And carrying doesn't just mean frags. Communicating plays and callouts will also help your teammates just as much as they'll help you. And with everyone popping off, you're guaranteed to win more games and climb that leaderboard. And that is all we have for today's video. Make sure to follow today's tips, especially the #1 rule to guarantee you play duelists to their utmost potential. Doing so will grant you more kills, more rounds, and more wins.
Remember though, if you're really looking to improve at Valorant, then you've got to check out SkillCapped.com. Over on the site, we have hundreds of hours of exclusive content designed to take your game to the next level. It's also all backed by our rank improvement guarantee, meaning if you don't improve while actively using our service, you'll get your money back, no questions asked. We do this because our service works, and if it doesn't work, you shouldn't pay. So, what are you waiting for? Get started on your climb at SkillCapped.com, link in the description below.
And as always, we here at SkillCapped want to thank you all for watching, and we will catch you in the next one.